Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We are wrapping up March's. Dang, I left my gloves out here. Son of a frig. Dang. Left my gloves out here in a dang rainstorm. Anyway, we are finishing up March's knife of the month. Today is the last day, and I wanted to kind of make sure I got caught up on this before I got too busy. And just go ahead and get y'all video up. So, El Pionero. Let's water it. Made that worse, didn't I? My bad. The Tops Knives El Pionero. Designed by Mr. Ed Calderon. Please forgive me if I didn't say that perfectly. My Espanol is not a lot of bueno. But what is a lot of bueno is this knife. So when you get it, I believe I had covered this before I started doing everything to it. It's just this Kydex sheath with a metal tops pocket clip that goes like right here. And I transferred it over to this leather belt style just so it was a little more flexible on the belt. And I used the same hardware that the metal clip was on there. And then I went through and found me a multi-tool or single stack magazine pouch that I installed on the front. Just some zip ties. I think there's maybe a video of me putting that on there. I can't exactly remember. But the pouch fit perfect. Something that I noticed was giving me a problem was it liked to flop real bad. Like this was loose, so it had a little more flop to it, and it really doesn't do it now. But so I took some goon tape and just hit it right here to hold that together. Ideally, there should have been another fastener like in this side somewhere, but there just wasn't one. So that gave it flex this way, but that took that out of it. Carried great. Once I got that out of it, I didn't have any more issues with it. And that was just, not that it didn't carry great, it would just lean forward a little bit. And it actually made the knife easier to get to, but I have when I'm at work, I have to have this thing because I work in a paper mill, and depending on where that is, sometimes this will hang over the top of that, and it's just uncomfortable for me. So I did that with the goon tape. The knife itself, we did some slight modifications to it. I was out here, I had the bright idea to take the hardware out of this end, and it had like a little barrel, a threaded aluminum barrel, and I was going to shave one of the sides off of the barrel, just like a top edge. And that would allow me to put my string through there, put the barrel back in, and put my hardware in it. And while I was doing that, my grinder shot it out in the yard. I hadn't been able to find it. So, because loose hardware makes stuff fall apart a lot of times, I've done the same thing that I've done with my Boker when it was loose. This guy did never get loose, but the Boker got loose. And I wrapped it in jute twine and put clear Gorilla Glue on it. And it's set up. It's super tough stuff. It just helped me keep it from moving around a little bit out when I was beating on it, but made a good lanyard hole. I like having a lanyard on my tools anyway. I did do a slight reprofile on the edge. Nothing crazy. I just knocked the fat off of it. That kind of secondary bevel down at the very bottom, I just cleaned the rise up and just gave it a little better edge geometry. Just done that with a file and a diamond stone, and we finished it off with HCO strop for the rest of the month. Super sharp. This 1095 is on point heat treat wise. It done really well. The only thing that made me nervous about this dude was this. So you're looking at out here on the very end at the thickest point. So right here at the top of the grind, down the center of the blade, you're looking at 3/64 of an inch thick. Really thin. And the only time that I was worried with that is when I was using the tip to drill holes with. You wouldn't want to just stick it down in something really deep and just twist it side to side. You'll probably end up breaking that tip off. If you poke in there and you lead with the cutting edge, you know, like of course don't do it backwards, you'll probably break it off too, but if you just let it cut as it goes through, you shouldn't have any problems doing holes. I've done a bunch with this. Comfort, of course, it's made to be held a little different than a carving knife, but this thing carved wonderfully. It did everything that I wanted it to do. Size, within reason, if you scale your stuff down a little bit, you can do everything with a knife this size that you can do with a big knife. I didn't get a whole lot into the batoning. I did process a bit of wood with it, but again, it's really thin. I mean, if you get whipping on that thing in any kind of stress, you're probably going to break it. But a wonderful design. Food prep, we cut up sweet potatoes and carrots. We cut sandwiches with it. We built some super awesome roast beef sandwiches. Cut tomatoes, and I mean, it's kitchen prep. It does fine. It would cut flesh very well. You could process game with this, no problem. There's been more deer cleaned with a old timer or a little Barlow probably than any other fixed blade over the years. So this thing would work fine, especially this thin edge out here. You could do some business with that. But a all-around great option. I know the design is not necessarily a bushcraft knife, but I think Ed, from what little bit of time that I have spent with him, he thinks very similar about things as myself. And I like a utilitarian style thing. Like, I want to be able to do all kinds of stuff with something, and this checks those boxes. The kit, what we ended up doing with the kit, I had a really awesome hand-forged awl that I had in here, and my buddy Bill needed one, so I donated it to him. But I went and I changed my zipper, or sorry, not zipper pulls, but just the pulls on this to some high-vis stuff. I put a small diamond sharpener in there, and this thing is ridiculously shiny. Like, it actually will throw light pretty far for a signal mirror. Safety pin, another safety pin, a bobbin with braided fishing line on there, and a ranger band. Some Pro Camp Tech fire plugs, 3 of them in here. A 5/16 by 3 ferro rod. a hardware tube from Wazoo Survival Gear. So it's got 3 hooks, 3 weights, a needle, and a couple small safety pins in there. A diamond grit jigsaw blade. Some 100-pound Kevlar cord. A little glow stick or a chem light, whatever you want to call one. This one's red. And this one's red. A piece of fat wood and a larger piece of inner tube. And that was what ended up living in this kit, and it's gonna stay in there. So I made this where I don't have to take any of this stuff out. It can just live in this forever. But anyway, I wanted to share awesome knife. Yeah, it'll do way more than what most people anticipate doing with it when they get it. So I wouldn't worry too much about it not being able to handle things. It performed fine. Thanks to Ed, thanks Tops for this month's Knife of the Month. We'll roll on tomorrow with a Reef Knives S5 glider. So we'll keep it on with that. But check them out. There's a murdered out one, black one. It's pretty sweet. I like the brown canvas though. That's my colors. Again, I appreciate it, guys. Check out the website, bushcraftkelso.com, for gizmos and gadgets. At bushcraftkelso on the Instagram. You can see all the stills from this stuff, the entire process of the modifications and everything to this tool on the Instagram. Again, appreciate it. Feel free to like and subscribe. The support means a lot. Until next time, later.